I think
Hello?
we should be live.
He skipped 6. I can't believe it.
Oh yeah, I got an ad, so I think we're live.
Okay. Hi guys, we're live. Apparently.
Yes, you're live. Also, most people are probably getting the ad, so let's just wait a bit. I said I wasn't going to say anything, but since you're just giving me crap while I'm muted,
You skipped 6!
I said 6. What are you talking?
No, you said 7, 5.
No, well, I didn't. No, I did say 6. What are you talking about? I'm not insane.
Yeah, you
Okay,
are.
let's wait a bit until everyone goes to the ads. Oh wait, I forgot. Some people don't get ads, so they just hear all of this.
Yep.
Of course, not everyone gets ads.
I forgot.
Part of the
I don't
charm,
get
you know.
any.
And
Yeah,
I think
partners
now we
don't
should
get
be
any ads.
properly live. All right.
But Milt, do you want to tell us what's gonna happen after this race?
Well, no, but what about we start with like what's gonna happen like right now first?
No, but we can get the teaser trailer.
What t-shirt trailer? Okay. Let's get serious here. This is professional production. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Speed Souls Community Showcase number 3. I think it's the third one.
Professional.
Count because I'm gonna forget pretty quick. This week we have on your right you have Mr. Nubist, and on your left you have Mr. Stennis. They're gonna show us Dark Souls 2 reverse boss order, which is only possible. Is it only possible so far on Dark Souls 2? I don't think we have any other Souls game still capable of this.
Well, it depends on what
Unless no one's
impossible.
done it, I don't know.
We still can't do Nashandra first, so it's kind of possible.
It's not even possible here.
Oh my god! So okay. This is really starting now very well, but and this is okay. So what is the version of this game to start with? Since Dark Souls 2 is like 45.
Yeah. So this is the I think it's might not be the original patch for PC, but one of the really early ones, 102.
This is the first PC patch.
Yeah. Okay. So I think they had 2 versions on console before this one came to PC. But yeah, so it's a old version of the game that has primarily because we need to use two glitches for this to work. The primary one being parry walking, lets us go out of bounds and skip areas and makes this whole thing possible in the first place. And the other is binder boosting just to make everything a lot faster.
Yeah, it's speed. The kind of speed I'm looking for.
So if you haven't seen,
sorry.
If you haven't seen an old patch run before, then it's going to be very different from current patch DS2, which kind of makes this almost its entirely own game, I feel like.
For the ones that are not familiar with either the game or the category, what does reverse boss order entail?
You do the bosses in reverse order.
Yeah, but you just said that you cannot do the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's an open game. So, for example, which is gonna be the last?
The last boss is Last Giant, of course, because his name is Last Giant, so you do him last.
But yeah, we did have it more open before, but we settled on the ruling for this to be following the bonfire order. So whenever you grab a bonfire,
apart from the obvious order, which is Nashandra's.
Apart from the required bosses that you have to do to finish the game, which would be Giant Lord, Throne Duo, and then Nashandra. So those are the only required ones, and then we do at the very start, since they would normally be the last ones. And everything else follows the boss order relative to the bonfires that are used to respawn them.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys have anything else that you want to add before starting the race?
I'm just going to preface this by saying I have really cold hands right now, so that's my excuse.
I want to preface to make it very clear to everybody, parry walking is literally impossible, so it's gonna be a long race.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and for what Stanis was saying before, after this we're gonna finish the tutorial that we're doing for Wolfie and Ash on Demon Souls for the any percentage 6 FPS emulator category. We're missing just like a few areas, about 8 bosses and 3 areas, and that's gonna be after this race, which should last around 2 hours. So whenever you guys want, have the splits ready, you can start the timer. You give me the countdown. Good luck.
I'm ready whenever.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna count down from 3 then. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck. Right, so starting up, we are going to be selecting the Sorcerer class, as well as Healing Wares. The main reason for going Sorcerer class, it doesn't really matter anymore whether we go Sorcerer or Cleric, apart from some other, like, other levels they have for just comfy stuff. But we do need as much levels as we can in Faith and Intelligence, because we will be doing hexes for the entirety of the bosses.
Character creation is really hard in this game, by the way, because it's actually timed, unlike in the other Soul games. I just picked the wrong class.
Yeah.
I didn't actually submit
No, I often do that as well. The problem is that in any percent we select Explorer, which is just one position down from Sorcerer, so I often hit Explorer by accident. I'm doing this. So reverse boss order is pretty much around, at least me and Nubis have only done for showcases and doing races every now and then, stuff like that. It has 2 pretty rough skips, which is the main reason we don't really do this competitively, besides it being like a miscellaneous category in the first place. But there are so many like cool ideas and cool skips in this that really showcases what you can do with just the rudimentary glitches that you have in old patch.
Yeah, it took a long time to find all the skips, and I regret finding some of them because they suck.
Yeah, so the main one he's referring to there is the dreaded one of this race, being Nashka skip, which is really inconsistent. We don't really have a good and solid setup for it. But
yeah,
I'm just
today's
gonna
tennis
wing
was
it,
like
basically.
today's tennis was like I've done this skip without setup like 5 times now, and 4 out of 5 I got it. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it without a setup now.
Yeah, basically.
So here is the first enemy that is gonna be parry walked.
On my time.
To do the parry walk, you need to
Go ahead.
roll over them like this, and then you can walk in the air. You need to attack at the same time, and it's pretty precise. But now I can walk in the air, and bino boosting is what happens with the binoculars. We didn't actually explain that at all, but yeah, that's why we pick up the binoculars, so we can go fast. I cannot jump.
So
Here I need to jump. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so one thing that we can make use of when parry walking is that when our height is fixed, we can sandwich ourselves between a roof above us and the floor below, and do jumps that the floor will catch us, but the game will still register the height of the jump and update our character position. So we will gain height for every jump we do. And here we get stuck underneath the staircase in order to gain height and skip through an area into a pathway that is placed higher than where we initially started. And coming up here is a spooky forest where I might get backstabbed and die because it's full of ghosts.
I'm just gonna heal, because then you can take 1 more hit. You can take total 2 hits, not backstabs though.
Yeah, backstabs always kill you. They got the, we pick up 2 rings here. The most important one being the, what's it called again? Clear stone ring? Blue clear stone ring, yeah, I always mix that up. Which will increase our cast speed quite noticeably. And also we pick up the Chloranthi ring to have better stamina regen.
Yeah, I kinda got lost there in the forest, like kinda embarrassing, but it's okay. We made it through.
So while I'm here, I'm also going to talk to one of the 3 Gandalfs of the game. We need to open the portal to one of the dungeons later, so we can fight Dark Lurker. And he also gives us a ring once we join his covenant, which ups. I fell off the cliff. That's fine. It ups our damage by 20%. No, I did not, so I have to run back there later. But it's not huge.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing to happen, but it means that I'm actually ahead, even though it might not appear so.
Well, I sort of save a rest and a warp, kind of. I guess it's not the worst place to die, because I do end up at the bonfire I had to go back to. Cold hands, all I'm saying. But yeah, that walkway is kind of awkward to do if you do bind boosting, which I normally do, but I failed it this time.
Yeah, after he fell off, I was like, yeah, better not spinal boost here. Usually I do it, but I'm scared now. If Mighty's tennis can fall there, then anyone can. And now we're gonna skip to Aldia's Keep, and even though it's in the other direction, we have to come here to gain enough height, like the easy way.
Yeah, so
Also
here we do the same thing as before we did in the staircase, except we get stuck underneath a branch, and it's kind of wonky that position because there's not really much above you to keep you from flying out, and we have to do Narska skip there later, which here we did 11 jumps, but later on we have to do at least 60.
And here you have to touch the specific. Oh, I might be too low for this.
You can make it with 10. You just have to scale the wall a bit.
Okay, I made it. I think my first jump didn't really register properly there, but we're fine.
So since we're doing bosses in reverse, we will be picking up some bonfires on the way to places, just to make it faster when we come back here. So there's a secret bonfire on the left here that we can grab when we come back to do Guardian later.
Very exciting boss fight in this route, by the way.
Yeah.
Better do the funky arms than it's...
Yeah, I'll try. Right, so here we do another parry walk. Will help us skip Guardian Dragon. There we go. And if you turn to another side while you're opening doors, you do get some pretty wonky animations.
No, I didn't get it.
That only works while parry walks because the game is sort of confused about where you really are. It kind of splits up your character into two positions at once. One position lets you interact with some stuff and pick up items, etc. While the position you see determines animations, etc.
Yeah, it's also later on we'll use it to pick up an item through the wall, basically. And here's one of the great lift rides of this game, which are very long for whatever reason. They're like disguised loading screens, probably. So we just chill in the lift for like 30 seconds, doing nothing.
I kind of feel like that they made it long just for the hell of it. I don't think they've changed too much how this area loads, considering that miss a skip, we can actually just skip the entire elevator entirely. We haven't been able to do it here though, just because there's no good place to start to do jumps. Well, that's one reason. The other is that it's super slow.
Yeah, you would never want to do that. Only like, why am I getting stuck on literally nothing? This bonfire is good to take because there's a jump here that we're gonna do that is very spooky because we do no setup for it and it's easy to fail. Dennis, you did setup for it, didn't you? Oh my god.
Yep, I'm peachy.
I'm gonna do it with no setup. Watch
I already
this,
died once.
Watch this, I'm gonna fail.
Safety.
Witness me.
I'm watching.
I did it. That's,
oh my god,
that's how you're supposed to do it.
The race is basically over now. This Nubis is just absolutely destroying me. But I'll try to finish still. Maybe I should do YOLO door. I'm not gonna do YOLO door. So there's two guys here that are designed to interrupt you when you go through the door. But for some reason, when you follow the railing here, one dude realizes that he hasn't been to the store yet, so he runs off.
Yeah, the store's closing very soon, so he has to run.
Yeah, and tomorrow's a Sunday, so you can't really go tomorrow either. Why did that change? Alright, I failed to hit the feather while talking to him.
Oh, I have not put my feather on my hotbar. Thanks for reminding me.
Right. So, on the way here, we picked up a what's it called? Great Hero Soul.
Yep.
That will give us 20k souls for every time we use it. Since we do the last boss, normally last bosses first, we do need a bit of stats before we go into the fights. So we're gonna be doing a few dupes on the way here to get extra stats before we get going. In fact, we'll be doing all the level ups before we even do the first boss.
Yeah, because coming back to level up again would be slow.
Oh yeah, so for those who don't know, a glitch we're doing all the time here where we're looking through the binos to gain speed. It's called bino boosting, and we don't know exactly why it works, but it seems to be tied to cancelling the rolling animation at a certain point, giving you
also
sort of a faster animation of your running.
Also attacking at the same time for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, but it gives us a speed boost for about 3 seconds if you do it with the right timing. Okay. Can get up here without taking damage, nice.
Also, another glitch we're doing throughout the early run is duping, where we use the soul that we picked up and drop it before it's consumed and then pick it back up. But you still get the effect of it being consumed every time, so you kind of have to be kind of quick to do it, otherwise it does get consumed and you don't get your soul back anymore. You have to figure something else out.
Getting bullet here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rest at the bonfire. I have no health.
Yeah,
I took so much damage
I
on
should have done that.
I took so much damage on the...
Yeah, I didn't take any on the ladder, so I was trying to skip it, but I hadn't put on the... Oh, I didn't buy... Did I not buy the bombs? Oh, he's just pissing out now. Professional speedrunner, by the way.
Yeah, here we blow up the wall through the wall with a firebomb. It works because the explosion goes through, I guess. I'm not really sure.
For some reason, it's way easier to do when you're bino boosting than it normally would be. Normally, you see people in playing current patch have to like stop for half a second or so before the wall to line up the character properly. But with bino boost, you can just run into it while we're throwing it.
It's because you have the big speed, I guess.
Oh, I failed my first dupe already.
It's okay, you get another soul.
Yeah, luckily I'm in the memory where I will pick up another soul, but that means I have no backup for the rest of the run, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because there's a lot of dupes we're gonna be doing on spots where we won't lose any time to it. And here we pick up this giant soul. Those are needed to fight Vendrick in a reasonable time frame. Because Vendrick gains defense, or his defense is halved every time you get a giant soul. And if you have 5 of them, then he has the lowest defense he can have, and you can actually fight him properly. I don't know why I talked to the Herald there.
I got a long loading screen because I was putting stuff in the item box while I warped.
Oh no.
So this happens not very often. It usually only happens to me when I'm doing races with Nubist for some reason. It's kind of suspicious, to be honest.
Sure.
But yeah,
here I aggro this dude so I can parry walk him.
But it is a bug tied to using the bonfire menu for sure. I'm pretty sure of that.
I don't remember ever getting... Oh, no, I've gotten it like once. And this is gonna be the Dragon Rider skip, because we can't kill Dragon Rider yet. He's not the last boss in the game, or second to last boss in the game, I guess. but either way we can't kill him yet, so we have to skip him. And to do that we walk through everywhere. I don't know, jump down a little bit here and then line up with the edge of the cathedral, and I'm gonna run straight into the bonfire, hopefully. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
now, if I would
so,
rest at this bonfire, I would actually die while resting because I would fall through the ground. It wouldn't load before I fell through it, so I have to use the feather.
So one thing we did there on the way was that we ran pretty close to the cave you would normally use to enter this area, and that helps to provide like a load trigger in between that spawns the items and the bonfire. Otherwise, nothing would exist in this area.
I kind of messed up there and didn't do a dupe while she was getting up, so now I have to do an extra dupe.
I'm scared of failing the dupe now since I don't have any backup.
What are you doing?
Okay, we're safe. So, Lisa actually does a lot of damage. If you let her do the Wrath of the Gods, it will just one-shot you. I have to be a little bit careful there when you're duping while waiting for her to get up.
Just gonna do 2 extra dupes here so I can actually get my level ups because I didn't do the dupes where I was supposed to do them. Normally you wouldn't have to do this, but I messed up earlier. Level up 26 faith, 20 int, 13 attunement.
Bearer of the curse.
And then I need to go buy the cat ring. Cat ring is very useful because it reduces fall damage and you kinda actually need it to go down the gutter. I also buy these skulls for a few uses later.
Oh,
The king.
accidentally talked to Harold instead of picking my soul back up.
And like spots like this where there's nothing happening, you just do dupes. This one loses a little bit of time because you have to pick the soul up still instead of going straight through, but it's not too big of a deal.
I'm trying to do a bit extra now just because in case I mess it up later, it's better to have as many souls as I can. Or pivot early.
Here we get the weapon of choice, Great Resonant Soul for the rest of the run, pretty much. There's like one boss you use something else for, and then, well, you also use scraps for some bosses, but not too many. And another bonfire coming right up, we just pick up a lot of bonfires.
We are going to be getting all the giant souls we need before Vendrick, actually. Mainly because we can go through all the... Well, Giant Lord is a later boss, normally, than what Vendrick would be, since he's required to actually finish the game. But we do get his as well as Ancient Dragons.
And here we can see why parry walking is
due to the bonfire
impossible.
order.
Then you say parry walking is impossible and instantly get it. Great trick.
I failed just as you said it, so I confirmed it.
Ladders can be used to go through walls while you're parry walking. Why did I kick? So you use this ladder to go through walls, then you climb it up a little bit to get more height, which you can do with ladders, which is very nice. You can change your height with them if you're parry walked. And then you do the...
Yep, go ahead.
Go on.
I forgot to get the hood from Falcon, so I'll be having a bit less costs. It's probably fine.
It's like 1 or 2 less casts, I don't think it matters.
We might actually mess me up in Dragon Lake, though. We'll see.
Here you line up these flames with this waterfall and then aim here so your icon is lined up with the other flame, and then you just run straight and you do the easy skip, which skips the skeleton lords. It's called the easy skip because it's easy.
Also put on the cat ring before I forget. But yeah, what I forgot
Oh,
to
yeah.
get there is the hood that Nubis has on now. It gives us 1 extra Inth and Faith, as well as it slightly increases the number of casts you have, which shouldn't really matter for this since we do something called attunement glitch, which lets us override the number of casts of one spell with another.
Now I'm gonna do Mythic Skip. The second worst. Well, actually, I'd say this is the worst skip because it just takes so long to do.
Yeah,
But
so the
it's
skip,
more consistent than Nachika skip. So
yeah. But the skip Misa, we actually have to go all the way up to the top of the elevator since it's impossible to get into the elevator room. We've tried quite a bit. But yeah, so we need about 150 total gems. We can get by with a little bit less, but we need a little bit of safety margin. Because you can always correct your height by going lower, but you can't increase it once you're out of the cave. We will doing all the jumps in.
So yeah, if you wanna count, now is the time. I'm gonna do 150 jumps here. Very cool.
Yeah, unfortunately we are at almost the same time, so we're both gonna be a little bit quiet for a while. So I'll be doing 100 jumps into the cave and then 50 out just to get out at roughly the right spot.
You guys done?
Almost done here. 20 more. So the truly joyous part about this skip is that if we now fail anything after this, which is pretty easy to do, we have to do all the jumps over again. And I might actually be too low. Really low.
Okay, I got really bad jumps. Like I
this is
just
like
couldn't.
this might be like 30 centimeters low.
I hope not.
We'll try. I
got really
I might have to try like an insane recovery, which is jumping straight into an invisible corridor. But it's very hard to do.
I am high enough at least, but I need to lower my height a tiny little bit here, and I might screw that up. Hopefully not. Okay, a little bit more than that. And a little bit more than that. And now it's the Okay, that should work. There's a big old elevator here that we are going to go to the top of, hopefully.
Oh, I think I'm inside. I think this might work. One annoying part here is that we don't always load in right away when we're inside the elevator.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pull the lever here to try and lower myself a tiny bit more. There we go.
Oh, I loaded in.
Yeah, I did
That's
as well.
method skip.
Then we're actually completely equal. Well, actually, no, you're slightly ahead because I don't have the bonfire in Shaded Ruins. All right.
And now I'm gonna do Nachka skip, and Stennis won't do that yet because he has hipster route.
Yes, I also got the attunement glitch. Just pushing on there. So I was gonna do an attunement glitch here to get 30 cast of GRS, Great Resonance Soul. But it had selected a part of the menu there where there was no spells, so I didn't make it in time. You can get out of it if you're fast, but I failed. Had to do an extra warp there. So it doesn't really matter whether you do not skip now or later, which I'm gonna do. The only reason I do it later is because I want another chime first, because I think it's more comfortable to kill a lizard with that one since that faster cast speed.
Now I'm gonna do another 60 jumps here, hopefully.
Hopefully I still one-shot the Royal Soldiers here before Drang Lake. Since I forgot to pick up the hood, I'm gonna have a tiny bit less damage than I normally do. Hopefully I'll be okay here. Yeah, we're good. So we killed 2 enemies there to open the door to Drang Lake, and while we're waiting for the door to open, because it's pretty slow, I'm just gonna do a few extra dupes here to get us more levels before we do the bosses later. And I messed up my second dupe, damn it.
Oh, what are you gonna do now?
There isn't really a good recovery. I'm just gonna have to get as much as I can out of 10k soul.
And I got my jumps, so...
Oh. So Nubis is actually perhaps pulling quite a bit ahead now. I mean, I'm just gonna lose bigger. Here? See how it goes.
Oh, my game crashed.
So the problem with me failing the dupe there is that we have 2 elevators, really long elevators coming up that you can dupe on since they are moving downwards. You can't dupe on an upwards elevator because the soul will first drop a bit and then land on the first when it first hits ground. If you're going upwards, the soul will land below where you're going, but if you're going downwards, the soul will follow you and you can catch it on the way down.
Let's see where I actually spawn. Yep, I have to do the jumps again. Great.
Yeah, so that's... Did you load in outside the wall or...?
No, it just crashed.
Oh, you didn't rest, did you?
No, it just crashed.
Okay, well I haven't seen it crash without resting, that's weird.
Is the kind of crashes that you guys that do this world, is it common? Is it
no, it's very uncommon to crash in these 2, but Nachka skip and Mr. Skip in particular have a very high chance of crashing if you rest at the bonfire. So I don't know why Anubis crashed there when he didn't. But that's pretty unlucky. Very unlucky, in fact, because you had to do the skip over again. So on Nachka skip, you actually can sort of rest and have the ground spawn beneath you, unlike the Dragon Rider one. But it very often crashes this game, so we don't. And one of the Royal Soldiers here apparently fell down the staircase and died, so I have to bait another one. Because I need him to do another power walk here that will skip the Dragon Riders on boss fight.
Okay.
Sorry, Lewis, are you
Go-
back in game? Because game
Yeah.
is not being captured.
Oh.
You have a black screen. Might need to.
I did my jumps.
When you can try to recapture the game.
Yeah.
Alright,
Uh.
so guess I can explain stuff while he is still in the black screen. So that skip is actually pretty simple. What we do is basically we just go underneath a platform just behind Dragon Riders and jump back in from the side, which just gets us straight to the bonfire right behind them.
I have to do the skip because I can't quit. I need to restart the game to get the capture running, and I have to do the skip now that I've
there we
already
go.
done the jumps.
Yeah, finish your skip. Finish what you need to do. Which is...
You already saw how the skip goes. Normally it doesn't crash here. I actually got to light the bonfire, so I'm fine. I'm just gonna make sure I'm on this side and then Widow. And restart the game.
Oh, whoopsie. So if I can just get the parry walk here, this is a minor optimization that was discovered, I want to say like 3-4 weeks ago maybe, which is just a variation of a skip I'd already found for old bosses, but that was reworked into skipping the Mirror Knight boss fight instead of going inside it. So to skip Mirror Knight we have to run around the arena, but the problem with this variation of the skip as well as one older one is that we don't actually see the arena. So we'll be using the sound of the rain as a cue for when we have actually ran past it.
This is the patch with the super loud lightning, right? Does that
Yeah,
play
so when we
into-
actually do the Mirror Knight fight later, I'm gonna try to remember to give an extra heads up.
Does it play when you're going past the arena? Like,
No, it's only when he attacks.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Well, that was cool. Yeah, I lost a lot of time with that, but it's okay, I guess. We'll keep going. The shame about it is that this run was actually pretty fucking good until now.
Oh my god, are you shitting me? I got the glitch on the elevator as well, that I couldn't pick the soul back up. So I've lost like, I don't know, 250,000 souls basically. So I think I'm gonna have to pick up the soul in crypts and more dupes afterwards. That is next to the two hollows, right? Down on the right side.
Yeah, it's down in there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we're back on track.
Yeah, this is really bad for me now because I also skipped picking up one extra soul in Dragonary that we used to pick up before, but now since we killed the lizards later, I don't have it. Might actually be faster to pick up the other one in the area, I'm not sure now. I think the grip's only faster.
I don't know actually, because it's kind of hard to get out from where the soul
Yeah,
is.
you have to climb back up.
Since you're going to the area anyway, it might be better to just get them.
Yeah, it's just... Oh. Nice. Got a frog interrupting me while I'm doing the power walk here. That frog normally doesn't aggro, so it's kind of unfortunate.
Almost lost the lizard there, but I got him in the end.
I can't power walk. But power walking is impossible, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've
Nothing you
gone
can do
over
about it.
this.
And it's extra hard on this one because she's in the water, which shortens your roll. Oh my god, I actually can't do it. It's actually insane now. This goes on for too long. I'm gonna push her over the edge here, I think. So I'm like a frame off because I keep getting the animation that they're getting reposted. But I'm not rolling past her.
I feel like sometimes you just get that anyway,
There
even
we
if you do
go.
it perfectly.
Look like... Where the hell am I? There. I got pushed so far to the side I actually lost track of where I was.
I feel like if you fail that one a lot, then there's a higher chance of you just losing the parry walk and peculiar
Yeah, I
Kindle.
seem to be past the rough spot here, so I think we're fine.
No, it's when the invasion dumps happens, if
Oh,
it
that's not
happens
where I usually
sometimes.
load in. I usually load in
Okay,
like right on
that's-
the other side by the pillar there when I
That's
do
like
load
the
in.
only spot where I ever load in, is when he invades you, and it's like, see ya. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you.
No, I'm fine. I'm on the other side.
Nice.
So unfortunately I can't do any dupes on this side as well now. So I don't have a soul to dupe anymore. And we haven't killed any bosses, so I can't use boss souls.
I'm poisoned.
So I think I'm just gonna get the Ares soul. I'm gonna get... I'll get the... Yeah, I'll get the Ares soul. I can come back and pick up this one in case I mess up again somehow. Because this one is closer to a bonfire.
My controller just stopped working. This is going great.
Classic
Okay,
races.
it's back. What?
So reverse boss sword is just one of those
I
routes as
can't
well,
move.
where if
What the-
something can go wrong, it probably will. And there's so many little things that can happen throughout the run.
Yeah, like your controller just stops working on a ladder for some reason.
Well, better to happen on a ladder than next to
True.
an enemy or something. Oh wait, oh my god. Yes, this one. Alright, so to open the King's Gate, go to the boss later, we'll pick up the King's Ring here. You could technically skip the King's Gate entirely, but it's slower than to do that twice than to just get the King's Ring here first. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, the
And-
King's Gate skip is kind of slow, and then you would have to do it at the very end of the run for the third time, because you
There
finish the
is-
run by going to the...
There is technically another variation of it you could do that might be faster, but I haven't really messed with it much. You can do a ladder warp next to the King's Gate,
Oh.
off of one of the stone soldiers. But yeah, I haven't messed enough with that to put it into practice. I might be better than doing this, honestly.
Probably, yeah. But then you have to
Yeah.
go to parry walking.
So
to
now
be-
I'll be doing Notch Skip, which Nubis has already done. And as I mentioned before, I'll just do it without setup. I'll basically do the same thing I do in any percent, which is the way I'm most comfortable with getting an angle that's at least roughly where it should be. Problem with doing this skip, but even with the proper setup, is that your position isn't perfectly accurate. As I mentioned before, the game basically registers 2 positions for you whenever you're parry walked, and we require the position other than the one you're seeing to be in the correct spot, because that's what determines whether you get unstuck or not.
Why is this guy doing this to me? I can't parry walk. Don't leave. I'm right here.
Ooh, that was really close. Yeah, so I did 41 jumps there before I got unstuck, which is really unfortunate, because now I have to go all the way back and do it over again. Probably would be faster to quit out, but
Then you lose the attunement glitch.
then you lose the tuning glitch. Yeah, true. I need to kill the lizards. I forgot that. We didn't have to kill the lizards. It would probably be fine. Could just do the attunement glitch again, but this would add an extra rest and warp if I did quit out, actually.
I'm just doing the Mirror Knight skip right now with older version, or the like this is the easy way to do it because you can actually see where you're going. This is not the oldest one. The oldest one couldn't see where they're going, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just doing this one because I'm bad. Then doing some dupes.
It's still a time difference, or how far we are in terms of each other is still not that easy to determine because we have failed at different things, basically. I need extra souls later, which is going to cost me quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I really failed at not having my game crash. I don't know what happened there, honestly. That was probably my fault. I probably was too low or something, and that's... oh, great.
Oh my god, why is this happening now?
We'll know who's where after we do the first boss.
It is kind of funny that you guys are 40 minutes into the run and we're talking about the
Yeah.
first boss.
Normally it takes about 50 minutes of preparation. We might be a bit behind now before we get to the first boss. Which is actually more than half the run.
Yeah, then you just bomb out the bosses real fast. Okay, that guy's just there. Yeah, parry walking this shrine maiden is kind of... oh, okay, I'm fine, I guess. I was gonna say it's kind of hard, but I got it second try, which is not too bad.
Alright, finally got the jumps. Should be enough height. Failed it a couple times. Didn't lose quite as much time as Nubis, if I don't crash or something here as well.
Just don't crash. It's easy.
Or maybe I'll load into the forest here or something. That hasn't happened in years. Oh, maybe that's what happened to you. Maybe you went too far left and loaded in the forest and that just crashed the game.
No, I was already at the bonfire.
I missed
Like I
bonfire.
crashed
There
right
we go.
next to the bonfire.
Alright, so that's Notchka skip done for me. Finally. Now I will just kill the lizard here as well. Grab the next bonfire and warp out. I barely got that lizard.
Even with your
Yeah,
fancy
even with cases. That's why I really don't want to do idols. It's because I often do a bind abyss, I think, right after the there. But that probably adds a slight delay before I can actually do the cast. Alright, so I'm heading back to the area now to kill a few lizards to give us the upgrade resources, since normally you would have to... is it kill Velstad that gives us the chunks?
Yeah, Velstad gives 10 chunks and Chandra gives infinite.
So instead of killing Velstad, then going back to upgrade weapons after. We're just gonna upgrade them immediately by killing a few lizards first. That also saves up a little bit of dialogue on name one.
Time, yeah.
Oh, I got a kind of scary dragon there. It fire breath right next to me, but we're good.
So at this point you can tell that Stennis is ahead because I'm gonna go where he is right now. Actually, he still has to do
I still
some
gotta do
dupes, I
dupes,
guess.
yeah. Doing like 10 of them, I think. Try to anyways, probably gonna fail that as well. Maybe just go on with less vigor. I do need some vigor though for at least the drop after Mytha. Not sure quite how much I need actually.
And I'm just gonna go to area right now too. Do what he's doing. Except get the soul because I still haven't failed a dupe yet.
This is what I would like to avoid. If I'd just been able to do it on the elevators, that would have saved me a lot. I think you can do like, well, probably like 10 on the elevators, so that's what I'm gonna recover. That fail, I missed like 12, I think, so I'm just gonna do a little bit less souls than I normally would have here. Because I don't remember the exact soul count you would normally have.
I have 263,000.
Alright, so I'm missing like 60k, but... okay, maybe I'll do a couple more. Because I also need a bit... I need 2 extra levels as well, since I don't have the hood.
Oh yeah, that's true. We are pretty much tied.
I think Nibs is pulling slightly ahead, since I don't have the Shade Ruins bonfire. That's basically the difference. So like, I don't know, 20 seconds. Okay, close enough.
Picking up the bow for, what's it called, Wharf later. So you can shoot the bell instead of ring it normally.
Actually got more levels than normally did. I guess I duped too much. Alright, so I'll be heading to the Gulch now to talk to the second out of 3 Gandalfs. The reason we do them in this order is because the last one you talk to will open their portal for free. And it is specifically the one in Drang Lake we need to do a skip to Dark Lurker. That's why we didn't talk to the one in Drang Lake while we were there. Instead went back after.
There was a little beam that we dropped on there that takes the fall damage away from that, so you can actually make the fall, even though I have so much health that I could have, even if you fail dropping on the beam, you can still live with this have amount of health, so it's not that.
I'm gonna be super patient around the bonfire here since I've already lost so much time.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the gutter bonfire too. I'm just gonna die here anyway.
Because there's a risk of us getting a baby jump. We don't have a baby jump mod for old patch. Or maybe the EXE pseudo made actually works. I haven't tested it. But
that was a DLL.
Yeah, DLL I mean. But yeah, so there's always the risk of getting a random baby jump in this game, which is tied to basically a CPU load. Sometimes you will just jump shorter. Yeah, we don't do the jet jump. One part being that on old patch we bind boost through most of the gutter, and doing that jump while bind boosting would be hell.
Yeah, if someone can pull that off, props to you.
Yes, I'm gonna rest here just to get rid of a worm here that would normally block my path. So I guess I can just attune scraps, why not?
Oh no. Oh, that was close. I might have jumped. Oh, that's fine.
Wait. Oh no, that didn't finish off. For some reason I thought these were 2-shot. I don't think... I always forget, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's 3.
So we need to kill those giants first. One reason being that we get a giant salt that we use to reduce the defense on Vendrick later. The other being that they drop a key that we need to open the door to talk to the second Gandalf here.
I died! Oh no! It's the first death. It's not
First
too
of
bad
many.
since I had the bonfire. Kinda surprised it took this long to die. Even though
Yes.
I've lost like, I don't know how much time too.
So I'll be, after talking to the last Gandalf now, I'll be finally getting to the first boss of the run, which will be Throne Watcher and Throne Defender.
Yay, we finally fight the bosses.
So the reason we talk to Gandalf here first is because he gives us a ring that increases our damage by 20%. Called the Abyss Seal. The Abyss Seal actually takes 30 HP from you every time you cast with it. So it's unfortunately not that practical to use together with something like RTSR.
Yeah, not at all. And it gives you the same damage boost as RTSR would give, so it's like, which one do I take?
There's a runner called Pseudo Striper, which used to, at least in an old version of the old bosses no DLC route, he mixed in RTSR on a few bosses, but you needed a bit of a health buffer, usually to work yourself into RTSR range instead of being it at the start of the fight.
A reminder to pick up your giant soul from the box at some point.
True, I couldn't do that on the way to Majula because I needed to dupe still. Put it on there.
So yeah, first boss coming up. At this point we are incredibly strong. We have a +10 Chaos Giant, which is the best Hex Giant in the game. And we have high stats and everything. We have good spells. So as you can see, Stennis is just kind of destroying the boys right there.
So I luckily the Defender didn't really move too much, so it did stay inside my scraps, which is convenient for me, as it gives a lot of damage. Scraps can be somewhat inconsistent sometimes, so
somewhat.
Very inconsistent sometimes. Just gonna get the hood here, why not? Get the other one. And now we're going to kill Giant Lord, which normally you would have to kill, which you do have to kill before Chandra. Unfortunately, there's no way around that. I think this might not be true, but I think someone tested, it might be you or Pseudo, to just give ourselves the Giant's Kinship with Cheat Engine, just to see what actually triggers Nashandra's spawn, but I think that wasn't even enough. I think it actually checks that the Giant Lord is dead as well.
Yeah, at least I tried it once and don't think it worked. Like, I don't remember. Did you take the bonfire, by the way?
No, I didn't know it. Might regret it. Ooh. Okay. Did the last hit there while he was doing an attack. I might be able to hit you there. I am not entirely sure. So we'll be doing it's not very recent, a few years ago I think, first found this variation of skipping Pursuer.
That was something else. I got hit
survived.
by a giant while running there.
Yeah, the second giant that can do that, or the first, I don't remember. You have to go super wide if it does a certain attack. But yeah, it was discovered a few years ago that you can parry walk between memories.
Yeah, they're all in the same area basically. It's like they're separate own little hidey hole.
So we'll make use of that by going from the Giant Lord one down to the one behind Pursuer. Unfortunately, all 3 of the soldiers there that I need to parry walk died immediately, so I have to run through again and do another attempt. Luckily, they respawn by just going back into the memory, so I don't have to actually warp back into the skip again.
I couldn't pick up my souls, and then I just got hit by everything and died again.
And since we have +10 early, luckily that giant dies in 2 hits. Now these dudes do a lot of damage. I'm gonna have to kill one of them before I actually do the skip here.
I should have just done this straight away. Not
They're
pick
really
up my
aggressive as
souls.
well. I can't do more than 1 hit before they change places. There you go. So hopefully the other giant won't make it here to interrupt me now. That would also be very unfortunate. Here we go.
Okay, let's try again. Who dies to Giant Lord 3 times, right?
Oh, did you die twice? Oh no.
Yeah, first time I got owned by the giant while running there, and then I got hit by a fireball. And second time, well, I just failed to pick up the souls.
So for this skip as well, most of the geometry is invisible, but there are some weird edges around that actually highlights certain geometry in the other memory, specifically some of the roofs. And we do normally need to hit an upward slope while power walking to actually load the area, so we can, knowing the position of a roof, we can then manually trigger a load in. And like that, we skip Pursuer. Now here's this another major risk in this run. I still gotta remember to get the... Actually, I'm just gonna rest and pick it up now before I forget. Giant Soul. After we kill Nashandra, we have to warp out at a specific timing. Otherwise, we'll end up back inside the boss arena and have to watch through the credits in order to continue the run. If we warp out at correct timing, we can still get the soul and get the kill, essentially, but end up back at the bonfire. I forgot to put on my hood as well.
Okay. Oh, this run is such a mess.
Yeah, I'm behind. My previous run where I already lost like 4 minutes to mid the skip. Going great, guys. So yeah, depending on what Nashandra does, she can be a really easy fight with hexes. At least if she decides to stay there and do lasers, they're very easy to strafe from this distance. The only laser that's kind of annoying is that wide one there, that I normally just walk away from, but it does cost you a little bit of time.
If you hit her at the right time when she's doing the wide laser,
Yeah.
she like
It can bounce
twitches
over
a
your
bit
head.
and you can get hit by it even though it normally misses you.
Okay, so that should be good here and not have to watch through the credits.
Oh,
Very good. Alright, I haven't actually attuned glitch scraps, so I only have like 4 or 5 casts, so I'm gonna try to remember to do that here. So attunement glitch, I can guess I go into a bit more detail about how it works. Essentially, we discovered a few years back that by right-clicking and then left-clicking inside the bonfire menu while you're warping, you can open like a hidden menu to go back, which only works with the mouse, doesn't work with the controller. And doing that, we can go into the attunement menu, and if you select a different spell to override another one, just as you enter the loading screen, it will only override the cast amount instead of the spell itself. So you see now that scraps, I now have 23 casts of, instead of the normal like 5 or whatever. Oh yeah, so watching the credits from Genre doesn't actually take you to New Game Plus. You have to go to the bonfire afterwards and say that you want to go to New Game Plus. But even if you alter 4 or something, you would just end up back inside the boss arena. So you just have to watch through them. And they're unskippable. It's the problem. It takes like 7 minutes or so. I almost got a no-flight fight. Could probably have YOLO'd it, but I probably would have died. YOLO this though. That's Ancient Dragon dead. Pretty simple fight. The only thing is you can, in the worst case, I think you can get like 3 flights. I'll lose like 20-30 seconds. And since we grabbed the bonfire on the way, I can just go back to Guardian Dragon. This will happen a lot through the run now, that we'll just do one boss, go back to the previous bonfire, do the next boss, etc. And here's where the ruling really comes in to show how the bosses are sort of mapped out by the game, which is the sort of official order we've set. In the past, the order of the bosses used to be like we just did the opposite of whatever all bosses would be normally. But that's a very
arbitrary.
Yeah, arbitrary, and it's an order that's very subject to change. So just at some point, your run would be invalid because the old bosses route does all bosses in another order now.
Yeah, the bonfire order doesn't change, so it's good.
Okay, so Vendrick is kind of an unique boss in this whole scenario, because since we haven't killed Valstad, we actually cannot get into his boss arena any other way, but we can stand on the wall just outside of it. So we'll just be standing on the outside and shooting in casts to kill him. And he will try to reach us with his attacks. Most of his attacks can't hit us, but there are some overheads we have to be aware of, as well as his legs get really glitchy when he's walking into the wall, which might just launch you into space and kill you if you're standing too close to him.
I should not have cast scraps here anymore. It's a waste of time when he's this low. Oh well.
So you cannot see Vendrick's arena still, but you just have to know that as soon as we are basically past Valstad's arena here, have to find the invisible wall and jump into it. And that will load us inside, or on the wall of his arena. This. Oh, actually does, like, that's a very rare attack Vendrick has. What do you call it? I guess it's like a hex. It's only a ranged attack, and he will basically never do it if you fight him melee. But if you're at the right distance and you have a ranged weapon equipped or something, then he might do it occasionally. I think it might curse you. I don't actually remember what it does, other than the damage.
Just a lot of damage.
So what we're doing here to sort of make the fight easier on ourselves is that he will get a little bit stuck on the armor he has lying on the side there. So by hitting him at a certain angle, we can just try and keep him in one place and not have to worry about any attacks.
Sometimes well, a lot of the time he doesn't want to stay there though. After a while he's like, oh, I can actually go around this and get a better...
So he broke out of that twice, I think, for me, but on the last time he was low enough that I could just kill him anyways. So one unfortunate side effect about not doing anything in the correct order is that we often have to do some skips multiple times, like this parry walk we're doing for the 3rd time now to get back to the boss here. Valstad is kind of a fun fight in this category and in all the bosses as well, because we can exploit parrying him to get a few extra costs in between each attack, since hexes are normally kind of a slow weapon to use, and Valsast is reasonably fast. This gives us a lot more openings. One problem about it though is that the stamina consumption is pretty high, so we won't always be able to do, for example, 2 casts after each opening, even though there is enough time for you to have full stamina. Ooh, I fell apart.
Oh, Vendrick, you are on fire today.
Yeah, I gotta be really careful here. Okay, we're good. So my health was still high enough that I didn't really need to heal, but you do always need some extra buffer of health just to not kill yourself while doing casts because of the Abyss Seal.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so the boss will always be there in Dark Souls 2, but they won't always be active for you to actually fight with. They will, for example, not aggro or not have a hitbox until you hit a certain trigger for the fight to start. One example of that might come up, depending on how we get the skip, is Dark Lurker. If we fall through a certain way, he won't actually start to fight, and we have to go into like the corner of the room to trigger him. Otherwise, he'll just stand there and can't be damaged. It's kind of funny with, I messed around in the past with doing a skip to Throne Duo. They will actually have an AI, and they can hit you, but you can't hit them.
Yeah, they have no hitboxes. But they
You
will...
can still get Watcher to fall off, and then I think if you quit out then and come back, Watcher will still not be back. Kind of fun.
Parabulking is possible. Okay, that's the magic word
you
you need
close
to
really
say.
quickly. Normally, like good distance from Demon Song, you can get like 5 hits in before it starts to fight. I only got 3 there for some reason. I feel like I have really slow cast speed, I don't know why. I'm pretty sure I have the ring on, I do.
Okay. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, did you get
I'm
interrupted?
dead.
Did you do the extra jump when going
Yeah, I
out
did.
from the room? Oh, I haven't had that happen. Almost looked like it was gonna happen to me, but it didn't aggro, at least.
Yeah, I just got pummeled instantly by like 4 of them. Just with no mercy. At least I got the paradox.
Paradox have not been great on either side, I think, so far. Haven't been that awful, except the one in Amana I had to do like 12 times or whatever. Yeah, the jumps here.
There we go.
So I'm skipping to Mirror Knight now, since we haven't opened, we haven't triggered the elevator and gotten the key to open the door. But we have to run around it. And I'm gonna warn you now that this boss fight, if he does lightning attack, which he probably will, it's gonna be very loud.
I don't know where the sound is coming from right now.
So if my game sound is on, then be warned. Might be Nubis still. Me being the one on the left, that is. There's
Yeah,
lightning.
that's
Very loud for me. And I am indeed wearing headphones. So I intentionally lowered the game volume a little bit more than I probably would in other games just because of this fight. And there are also multiple versions of the skip to Mirror Knight that we can do, but since we can use the same boss bonfire to go to Dragon Rise afterwards, we do basically one of the older versions of it. Although there's much time difference between different versions. This is a hard boss, by the way.
Don't say that. You can.
It wasn't the last hit though, so I'm safe.
Oh, that's cheating, saying that at the last hit.
Yeah, okay. And now it's probably one of the few hard fights/skips left, which is Dark Lurker. And this is where I lost chances of record on my last attempt. Since I got a really slow skip and then I also died to the fight.
Oh, I'm not close enough to hit her. Great.
Classic.
Okay. Should still be one cycle if I don't get the grab.
So we want to parry Havel for this part. One, because Ricard is very scary to parry. He can do a Gatling gun attack that will just destroy you. And Havel is just easier to deal with from basically all these other attacks as well. Havel can, unfortunately, meme you though. If he chooses to two-hand this weapon, you can't actually parry it.
Yeah, and he can also one-shot you with his backstab. It doesn't check for your health, it just does. If you get hit by it, you just die.
Yeah, probably. At least I've died with 50 figure, so I have half that now. So going into Dark Lurker's arena, there isn't really much to go by. We jump on top of some caves just to gain a bit extra height beforehand, which also loads in the outer walls of this arena, but we can't see the inner walls that we actually need to scale here. And here comes what I was talking about, that depending on how the skip goes, since I fell down in the corner here, I fell straight down into the corner that triggers the fight, and that's how I loaded in, basically. You can also fall straight down right after doing the first part of the skip, but then you have to trigger his AI afterwards.
Oh boy.
Doing a lot of soul spears now. Ooh, that's a pretty old split.
Why did I just parry so early? That doesn't even make any sense.
Oh, this is a bad combo. I can't really do anything on this, so I got Fireball and Laser.
Fun thing about the hexes.
And another Fireball and Laser. They just switch roles.
And they can all the counter to you. So let the red the
And another Fireball
go.
and Laser. They just trade places. What is this? Alright, that was a bad fight, but I didn't die at least.
So we're fighting Mirror Knight now. This is the loud parts. Possibly, I don't know where the audio is coming from. I didn't need to roll that. No loudness. He tried to do it, but I stopped.
Oh man. Ruining the best part, just like I did at ESA. Bad man.
Oh, audio's from Stennis, okay. That's good.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Then it wasn't wasted.
Been a bad joke to change it just for the lighting.
No, come on.
I was a bit
Robbed.
tempted, but yeah.
Everyone say Miltrip Ponoko in chat. Alright, so coming up is the only reason we got solo piece is for this specific fight, which is the rats fight. And the reason is that solo piece should one-shots the rats and has a pretty wide AoE. That's also only semi-consistent, meaning that some rats just walk through it and don't care. But another thing is that Case's Chime actually can't cast anything besides hexes, and since solo piece is a miracle, we need to get out our other Chime just for this cast. We have tested doing this fight with with scraps as well, but it's awful. Especially when it hits the main rat, because it just knocks him over and he's invulnerable while he's on the ground.
Oh yeah, I forgot the strats for this. Oh well, that works too. I'm not sure if you're in the right spot, mister. Also, you're two-handing, which is very rude. Okay, thank you.
Oh shit, I forgot to remove solar piece.
I am using my binoculars to parry, which actually doesn't work, believe it or not.
That's unfortunate. Hopefully they patched that at one point. Solar piece is useful for congregation, but congregation is a pretty nice fight to do with scraps instead, because the scraps don't only hurt the what do you call them, peasants there, one on the ground crawling around, but it also hurts the main ones, the main enemies. Get 2 for 1.
Come on!
So I'm gonna be taking a bit of fall damage here, but it will load me in. So I can continue towards Freya here without having killed congregation. I do not have my skulls on. It's probably a bad idea to do it there, now they might interrupt me on the door. We're fine.
I'm gonna actually pop an effigy here.
Oh, you died while doing the skip? Or?
No, I've died a bunch of times before, I just wanna have full health for Dark Lord.
Yeah. Oh, I cancelled that. I came on accident. No, ask away. We're pleased to answer questions about this as we go. Since this is not a category that's shown very often, and I had a spider surviving here. Luckily it didn't attack me. I have enough health that I would have survived, but that was a real problem in old versions of old bosses where you had like a base figure here. That rat will, no, that spider will sometimes survive and just one-shot you.
I failed the skip.
Oh no. Oh, I fell down outside. That's awful. I haven't had that happen in quite a while.
It's just not going very well right now.
Sad thing is, I might actually PB.
So every time you redo Dark Lurker of any kind, like you have to go back in the dungeon again, you have to give an effigy to Gandalf, so you don't have infinite tries at this actually.
I think my best possible time is actually even ahead of record now, which is very surprising. Not by much though, so it's probably not gonna happen. Oh. I got to take a solar piece, and now I messed around with my spells a bit. That was not a very clean fight.
Oh no! He dodged it! Oh no, Havel's coming! Good thing I have
a couple
infinite
attempts
life
ago I had a very good meme there where Havel actually fell off and died.
Oh, that's not
so
a good meme at all.
No. So I had to, what worked was actually going to the lady on the left side there and bait her all the way to the cave and parry-walk her. I wasn't sure she would follow all the way. But that's better than walking back and trying again, at least. Well, the problem is that the dungeons are sort of split into different zones, I guess. So you can't really parry-walk them anywhere and just do the skip. You will break the parry-walk then. So you have to parry them in one of two, at least two known spots. The other is right next to the where you light the torch. was too early. Oh no. Rather thought it was just stomping on me for some reason there. Luckily I can survive one of those. Alright, so now since I didn't manage to grab the bonfire here earlier when we talked to the first Gandalf, I'm gonna have to run through the forest again. Probably
How
costs
am I
me
failing
20
this?
seconds or so.
I don't understand what is happening.
Oh no. Yeah, I remember I had real issues with that before. And I did find a more consistent setup, but I don't think I really follow that anymore. Because I just ended up not having issues anymore.
Classic.
Yeah. Because it's a bit slower to like do proper setups. Besides, it has a similar issue to the Notch skip that your positioning isn't really precise when you start a setup after you've already started firewalking. Well, and before I die to Notch, gonna have to run through the forest again. Fortunately, I didn't get the instant burrow.
The legendary instant burrow.
Oh, what? I managed to cut her tail without damaging her. That's
I didn't know that.
that's interesting. Yeah, I did not either.
Why is Havel here already? What? That was insane sprint by Havel.
So that Notchka, it would normally be in a cleaner fight if I had gotten damage on the first one, since both of the tail cuts staggered her. So coming up is Old Iron King on my screen, and we can do a firewalk really close to the opening gate here of one of these Alone Knights, which luckily did the attack I was hoping for, since you just have to guess what they're going to do. You don't have time to react. One of their attacks is slow and the other is super fast. So I'm just exploiting a little thing with some enemies that will not attack you while you're parry walked. Others do. If you do get attacked while parry walked, you will lose the ability to jump and to bind a boost. So you really don't want that to happen. But the Alone Knights won't attack you, so I can just open the door and prepare to run through right after, without having any of them.
Most enemies won't attack you, but
Yeah.
ranged ones usually do. And then
Ranged
some
ones usually
melee
do,
ones.
and for example the ghosts in the crypts will attack you.
Oh, yeah.
There's some ranged enemies as well, I can't really name them standing foot, but there are some that you have to be aware of.
I don't know what's going on right now. I'm stuck somewhere where I've never been stuck before.
Oh, yeah, I think that's how I got stuck last time. I got out of it, but it took a long time. Like a solid minute to get out of that spot.
Oh, I made it, I think. Or did I? I don't know what's going on. Oh, yep, I think I'm... Yep, okay. Oh shit, that's gonna hit me. Nope, okay.
So basically the only reason we got 10 endurance earlier when we did our level ups is that we can do 3 casts and still have just a tiny bit of an stamina left, which I made use of there to do 3 hits and then immediately roll the attack from Smelter Demon.
What? How did I miss? Oh, the fireball laser combo. Classic.
Oh, I lost a lot of time there.
Oh!
Record is looking
That
even
was-
more out of reach.
This is very spooky. Dark Lurker can cheat and attack you after he's dead, so you have to be a bit careful after you kill him.
As long as you haven't got hit during the fight, you should at least survive a soul spare at our health, I think, after the fight. But better to be safe. So here we do a much smaller variation of the missile skip we did before. I do around 30 jumps, I think Snoobs does like 20 something. I'm not really sure of the numbers, I'm just doing a bit extra.
Oh, come on. I got fizzled there on my...
I got blocked by the wind.
Curious.
Alright, that was unfortunately not high enough to... Oh, no. To go to the second floor, but that's fine. First floor is also fine. And we're grabbing this bonfire here just to save a bit of time going back to Jabba after fighting Misa.
And I'm just doing all the bosses that he's already done.
Yeah, so unfortunately Anubis is quite a bit behind now because Dark Lurker skip is one of those that take a lot of time to do when you first fail it. That's, for any competitive category, that would just be a run killer.
Yeah, for this category it quite isn't because...
Because it's very not optimal. I'm surprisingly close to world record still, so yeah. Well, I got a stagger on Misa. That's a very good fight. So I'm doing a strat that I don't think Nubis will be doing, which I do scraps on the opening. Downside of that is that I don't really get any opportunity to heal during the fight. So I'm gonna have to do an Estus here. Do a life gem as well to get full health. And here we are on our way to Jabba. Just have so many life gems, might as well use another one. There's really no risk
a lot
of
of life
Jabba
gems
reaching you. Like normally, if you have a clean run, you normally have like probably 15 extra life gems, even without picking up the 20 we picked up in Gutter. But we don't have any option of buying extra because Last Giant is the last boss we kill, and he is the one that triggers infinite life gems at Militia. According to my splits, I'm still at world record pace, yeah, somehow. I think someone should double check what the record actually is. It's 138 something. My best possible time right now is 138.12. RTA no load, that is. It's not showing on the screen.
I did not attune scraps, so I'm gonna just play this fight safe.
Yeah, that's the reason why I get 16 attunement now instead of 13, just so I can attune Solar Piece without removing scraps. Just less to think about.
So the
Because
time
I'm
we're at, 138, 34.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be tight. I only have like 20 more seconds to lose, so probably will. If my SOB is correct though, it might be all kinds of messed up now due to rerouting and stuff. He didn't. Oh, there's two that didn't die. Okay, I'm losing some time here.
Yeah, normally you just kill the spiders with scraps like Stennis probably did, but I'm just gonna kill them one by one now. You don't necessarily need to kill them if you want to go really fast, but that's very risky.
Normal strat is just to do one scrap and I will kill usually all of the spiders, sometimes one will survive. But that one I will usually just leave alone and it will follow you around, but should be able to dodge it. Having all the spiders alive though, that's basically that sentence. They do a lot of damage. especially with counter hits. Oh, I forgot to heal before Chariot. Oh, I don't have quite full health, but hopefully we're fine. Orb is really unfortunate. Just have to tank it. One annoying part about warping out of Chariot is that the skeletons will aggro on you and can interrupt your feather.
Ah, what a battle.
What about? So the next boss I'm going to be doing now is Sinner, which I also have to do a parry-walk skip to get to, which I'll be using Lucatiel for, since it's
I have
convenient.
no idea where I'm running right now.
So these mummies all over the place, you can't parry them, but they're like impossible to parry walks. Unfortunately, we cannot use those to do the skip.
You can, but it's just
Yeah, I think you can, but it's like impossibly small window to parry walk on or something, or like very different from a normal parry walk.
Yeah, if there's something weird about the mummies, I'll get the consistent rat, by the way.
Insane. I think I got it as well. I didn't mention anything there.
Yeah, you wouldn't mention the consistent
the
rat.
consistent rat is kind of a meme because I'm clearly not doing it right, so half the time it doesn't work for me. That's why it's only explained by that Nubis usually buys it off, but I think he's conceded already due to the deaths for Dark Lurker, so that's why the rat worked for me. Only reason I can think of. So Sinner is kinda annoying to fight sometimes because she, since the arena is so dark, we can't really lock onto her unless we're really close. Did a trade there, just to save some time. So she jumps around a lot, it will break the lock on, and we have to maybe do some free aim shots. Like we do in the opening, because it's too far away to lock on at the start. Next boss I'll be doing is Gargoyles, which we also have to do a skip for, since they're normally after Sentinels. But it's a bit closer to where we need to be, so the skip is actually very fast. So here's one of those bosses that we actually have to trigger by going into the corner there. So the boss didn't actually start when I jumped into arena, but as soon as I hit the corner right next to the fog gate, then the first couple gargoyles spawn in. So I'm using a lot of scraps here and just hoping that the gargoyles will run around where I want them to. That way I can kill a lot of them at the same time.
And I'm just gonna fail parrying this guy for the next 5 minutes. Oh, okay, nice camera. Yeah. I blame the camera on that one. This was not my fault.
Don't really need to heal here, but I'm just going to have plenty of life gems.
If you really insist.
Oh. I think he'll hit me.
Oh boy. Let's jump down, fight this boss. There's you need to go like close enough to oink to hit him properly, and if you are in the proper distance from him, you can actually kill him in a... There's something... Oh, I didn't level up endurance.
Oh. Unfortunate. So I was actually doing this boss fight incorrectly here. For some reason I did the bind abuse at the start, which you're not supposed to, so I couldn't get 3 hits on the first one without getting interrupted there. And now we're pretty close to the final stretch here. I only have 5 bosses left, being all the ones in Wharf, Hades Tower, and then Force of Fallen Giants. And if I do it perfectly, we can get 5 seconds ahead of record. It's insanely close. Oh, that's the wrong way. Yeah, so the timer that's showing on screen is the RTA for the run as well. The official timing is RTA no load. We don't use in-game time in Dark Souls 2 because in-game time is unfortunately very inconsistent. Don't know exactly how it's calculated, but sometimes it will actually be even longer than the real time it took you to... What? What's going on? Oh fuck, I can't die. I died. No. Yeah.
Rip.
Grab the bonfire. Oh, I lost 3 minutes there. I don't know what happened there. I switched to the bow, but and I pressed R1, but it didn't actually select it with 2 hands. So when I tried to shoot, there were still I couldn't because you needed to 2-hand the bow for that.
I cannot parry walk. Very unfortunate for my life.
So that's too bad. It would have been pretty funny to record with that awful run, but probably a good thing it's not the case. So now unfortunately I have to wait for the elevator to come back up, since I do need to ride it back down.
This is something else now. No. I keep getting the fake repose.
Yeah, I get that all the time in a mono for some reason. Never had that many of them in a row before.
I just got it like 10 times or something.
Yeah, same. Okay, well, since I'm not gonna wreck you anymore, I might as well just... No, actually, I'm gonna skip the bonfire again. Thing is, if I grab that, that also adds an extra warp later, instead of just going straight back to the top. Okay, the bow is equipped this time, correctly. These guys are way more aggressive than normal. Almost died again. Wouldn't be a live race unless stuff happens that's never happened before. So the reason we have to shoot arrows there is to hit a bell at the top. From that spot, the bell itself is invisible, but we have good guideline for where it is, so it's not too bad to hit.
Oh wow, I'm really high.
The in-game time might be tied to FPS. We do actually in Dark Souls 2 cap the frame rate to 60 specifically because even though there's VSync enabled in the game that should cap it to 60, it sometimes will fluctuate slightly above or below, which will make the game run faster or slower, depending on whether you're above or below 60.
So I triggered the trap while I was parry-walked, and the trap made the sound, but it didn't shoot any arrows. That was interesting.
Nice. Good thing it didn't hit you. Oh no, wasn't the power walk broken at that point? Did you hit
No,
the flat
it wasn't.
Oh, strange.
Yeah.
Where are my effigies? Roll down for some reason.
Gonna rest here to get my health back.
Probably should none have done 3 there. Too late to...
Oh.
Right, 3 bosses left. So Dragon Raider is normally pretty trivial anyways. You normally do the fall straps, but it's slightly faster for us since we kill him with 3 casts to just kill him with GRS instead.
You could do Pursuer Clutch to save time.
Could. What, does it even save time? I have to rest to do it though. I'm not going to though.
I think it saves time.
Because if it fails, it basically kills the run. So.
Well, you can just do the paid parry, not the paid.
Yeah,
what's
the Kale?
That Kale, yeah, that's the guy.
If you want to set, so what Nubers is referring to is a glitch here that you rest at the bonfire at the correct time while Pursuer is being dropped. He will just fall to his death, and you will see that in any % current patch runs, where they at least try to get. If you do it at perfect timing, which is pretty perfect, you can get 17,000 souls you normally only get from killing him. Otherwise, you would only get his consumable soul and the ring. Oh, I think my SOB was messed up anyways, because apparently I lost 10 seconds there to Pursuer.
Oh.
I guess it didn't matter. I would have been like 5 seconds behind Ricky, I think, even without the Dwarf death. Unless that Golden Dwarf might have been able to. So now, the final and most difficult boss. The aptly named Last Giant. Which actually is the Last Giant this time, and I guard broke instead of casting. Nice.
Classic.
Yeah, so when you normally fight the Pursuer, the reward you get from actually killing him is 17,000, and that is very valuable in such a soul-starved early game, as in 100% current patch, where you really need to get stats or the cat ring specifically to get to Rotten, which you kill 4 or 5 times depending on the route. So since we've now killed all the bosses, all that's left to do for me is to run back to the final area, where we'll get our extremely exciting, totally eventful ending. So normally in current patch, after you killed Nashandra, normally Aldia would spawn. He wasn't always in the game. He was actually added at the same time as Scholar was released to the vanilla game as well. So that's one last boss we have to do. And that is time on my side.
Nice. What's the verdict? Did you world record?
No, I did not. 140.51. So I was.
Did you PB?
I technically maybe. I'm 1 minute ahead my splits. I'm not sure my splits were my actual PB, so I should I'll look it up real quick. I don't have the original splits because there was a reroute. I would have to time my WODs to check because I'm like 20 seconds behind my PB, but I got a super long loading screen.
Oh.
And all of this will play out again.
Which I guess I did in the PB as well, so it might be pretty close actually.
It is your choice.
But super low loading screen, but if you had load remover, no load, then that shouldn't count in the low load time.
Yeah. So compared to my gold, let's check actually how much did I lose in Wharf, see how close I actually was. In Wharf I was 2 minutes and 5 seconds, so that would have put me like 7 seconds behind record, I think.
Great sovereign.
So luckily that wasn't the actual Recce killer.
Dang it, but that was really close though.
Yeah, surprisingly, it was a really bad run on my part. I mean, I failed so many things at the start. I had to do a lot of extra dupes. There was some deaths at the start as well. When I fell down the bridge in Shaded Ruins and stuff. But yeah.
I saw you that you're having souls issues like in several parts, but I never really asked. What is the problem with having the souls on this run? What are you missing out?
It's just really the I probably could have gotten max damage, but I'm not sure I would have gotten enough stamina with the souls I had. Is one thing, and I also would have had a lot less vigor. It's fine for a few bosses. I would have to be peachier on, for example, Mytha, and I probably couldn't have done the drop down to Jabba. Covetous Demon. Jabba, because he is Jabba the Hutt. But yeah, stuff like that. Just having a bit of health buffer so you can do bosses with like YOLO strats, like I did for Sinner, like trading hits with Sinner, not having to worry about getting hit by certain attacks from Rotten, for example, so I can do scraps on him. There's a lot of places I would have lost time if I didn't get like at least.
I'm just fighting Sinner.
Oh yeah, shit, I tab it out to check so you don't actually see the cutscene on my side. Enjoy the black screen credits of this game once they show up.
Yeah, you can just trade hits with Sinner with this amount of health.
Yeah, it's actually very nice, because that also means she has less time to jump away. She'll normally break the block on. They open kind of fast for me. Sometimes when she does a running opening, you can get away with doing 2 hits on her at the start without even trading.
Yeah, I got a pretty fast opening, so I didn't go for it.
Yeah, me neither.
Let's just pop more life gems, because why not? I can't parry walk anymore. I had it at the start of the race.
Could we ever?
Occasionally you get every parry walk and you're like...
Yeah, I wasn't too bad at the start either actually. It was when I got to Amana, everything just fell apart.
There are occasional spurts of perfect parry walks and you're like, oh, finally I got it, now everything is fine, and then then you realize how folly of man has hit you.
So we don't have a task for Dark Souls 2, so we can't really test perfectly the correlation frame for frame variance. But I've done a little bit of investigating with parry walks in the past. Just going frame by frame in the video capture and looking at an input viewer, and you can get a parry walk from anything between it's like a 4 frame window at best. but you can get it sometimes. So the window you need is the timing between hitting the roll and the attack. And optimally that's about 4 frames. But you can get it from anywhere from 2 to 6 frames. But on every one of those timings, it also failed in certain scenarios. So there's no perfectly consistent timing to do the power walk at. You really have to like just get a feeling and repeat it until it works.
That's why it's impossible, because it's just for some reason inconsistent.
Also, I don't know what's happening with my credits. They keep flickering.
Yeah, no, you're just flickering now.
I'll probably get a new GPU soon. I've only waited for 4 months, so it'll come soon, right? Good old 30 series launch.
Not having 16 or 10 endurance is actually really bad, by the way. I have 6 endurance, it's really bad.
Yeah, that's an awful thing about Sorcerer. He has so little endurance when he starts. How much does Cleric have? Is it... Was Cleric even lower?
No, Cleric has lower ADP though.
Okay, yeah. It's like 3 ADP or something.
Yeah.
So the Demon Souls part of the stream is going to come up right after Nubis finishes. Nubis is pretty close to the end now, so we're almost on time.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. So it all
We haven't really gone over. Have we gone over 2 hours? Guess
No.
we started a bit late.
No, we're at 1:54. The timer's still going. You can check.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have my splits over the timer.
I got moon jump. I somehow usually don't get this moon jump stuff.
Oh, you actually went for the ledge.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
go
I
for
got
the
it.
ledge
I
because the
got
moon
it
jump
both
never
times.
works for me anymore if I don't go the ledge. And if I go for the ledge, it works every time. So it's very
So
annoying.
Moon jump is something that I think technically it can still work on current patch, but it's very rare. It's more consistent on patch, but it was mentioned sometimes you just don't get it. It's just a glitched state where we keep falling onto the platform with the elevator, not following it perfectly. And if you jump, then you'll get a super jump over the railing, so you can escape the elevator without standing on top of the railing like Noobs did there.
Yeah, this way is like 100% consistent though, so I just go for it now. I used to always go for the moon jump, but then for like 5 times in a row it just didn't work, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm done with this.
I always go for the moon jump because flare points are important, especially in categories like these.
That is true.
It's gonna be first try Wharf. Zengar Gaming.
I don't know, I might die the boss.
Excited. Yeah. I think you can take like... I'd probably die in 3 hits, but if he has time to do 3 hits, then... it's going very wrong. If Flexel is slow on the opening, you can actually get 3 hits in on him and kill him before he gets anything. You can't do it if it doesn't jump attack though, at least.
So we have 4 bosses left and 3 minutes left, so probably not gonna make it. I blame the crash.
You're so close under sub-estimate. Believe in the 159.59. Yeah, the crash was really bad on your side. I guess I had more spread out, apart from the early game that was pretty bad on my side. I did fail notch skip a few times, that cost me a couple of minutes. Dying to Wharf was another like 3 minutes probably. Maybe a bit more since you have to wait for the elevator to come back up, which is really slow.
Yeah, this category can be done quite fast, honestly, if everything goes smoothly, but all the patch is just so hard to get, like, parry walks are just so inconsistent, it's hard to do everything.
Sub 130 is probably going to be extremely hard. It might be possible. I think like a very good run would be around like the 132 mark. That is in RTA no load. In RTA that would be like 136 or 38 or something.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of floating screens in this run because you warp around so much.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't do the thing I did one time where I did the last hit on Pursuer and jumped off the platform and didn't see that he dodged me.
Then he just pissed out.
Yeah. So Pursuer, fighting Pursuer on the platform that we do here, you can only attempt it once. Will not come back a second time. So if that happens, you have to go fight him in the normal location by the ballistas. But since we haven't killed Last Giant at this point, we can't open the door. So we would have to do another skip to do that. Fortunately, the bird that carries you to Bastille doesn't wait there for you, so you can go back like they often do in this one. You can't go both ways.
I might die here in the door. Just gonna heal real quick.
Pursuer.
Ow, 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 ow. Getting poked.
Yeah.
Not gonna able to kill all the bosses before it's 2 hours even.
Yeah.
Unlucky. Oh yeah, he dies in 2 hits, I forgot. So it was 3.
Maybe that's why I keep thinking the giants in the gulch are 2 hits.
Yeah, and the giant in the memory is 2 hits, but the gulch giants are just
Yeah,
tank here.
right. Oh yeah, it's that one. Yeah. That's weird actually. Because the giants in the memory should be later game than the
Yeah,
gulch
but
ones.
they're not main characters.
Oh, we have 20% less damage though.
Oh, that's true. I think
Because
they're
of the
actually
pistol.
statistically the same giants.
It might be.
Anyway, we're about done here. Just gonna be less than a minute now. Overestimate, cancel everything.
Actually, the timer got like slightly reset at some point, so I think you're still underestimate.
What? How does that make any sense if a timer got reset?
Because I stopped it for Stennis, and then I forgot to.
Well, if you
Unpause
stop,
it.
But then it
then
would be
yeah,
higher.
yeah, you're
worse.
just making things worse,
No,
Will.
No, because I stopped it, and then I pressed again, so it went back to 0, and I had to put like a slightly higher number to start it.
Oh wow.
So it has like
Getting
45 seconds extra or something like that.
Well,
Maybe
time,
Cynic has said
time.
that, but it's fine.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, it's still won't be over. I think it's just a minute and a half.
Yeah, I think you're still, but by a tiny bit actually. You're probably on the first part of the 2-hour section.
Yeah, that was the reverse boss order. I think we made a good display of how many memes
There's a lot of
in this
stuff.
category.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
But-
so with all the skips you have to do, there's so much that can go wrong on basically every one of them. There are other skips as well, like Nubis got stuck in Dark Lurker, that could have easily happened, and stuff like Mirror Knight and a bunch of other skips where you don't see anything. You can load in on wrong places and stuff like that, so it could still have been worse, honestly.
Yeah, this is if everything goes well in this run, you will get world record, but it's insanely hard for everything to go well in this run.
But yeah, since we are above the time, I think we should just move on to insults.
Yeah, no, don't worry. We're not super tight. Anything you guys want to say? Like, I don't know if you want to like, push people to. do
Yeah,
this
Michael,
one.
it's your birthday today. Cake and ice cream is on its way. Rats, we are the rats.
I gotta say my favorite was when you were doing myth skip and they just like jumping for. How long does it take? That section? Just like when you
I
just.
think like 3 or
How
4
many-
minutes.
It's 150
How
jumps.
many? 150 jumps.
Yeah. It's quite
And-
awful.
No.
For example, I just got slightly too low there. So normally you want to be like the top of the windmill is touching your hips. It was basically touching my shoulders. I just barely got inside the elevator room. Normally when that happens, you will have to like time it to jump into the elevator room without seeing it, which is really hard. And if you fail that, you just start over, do all 150 jumps again. So it's a rough one.
Thanks guys for the race. It was pretty fun to watch.
Yep. Thanks
Yep.
for
Okay. Thanks for the
streaming.
race, Noobs.
Yeah, it was good. GG. Good job on almost beating your UB.
That was
Surprisingly close.
yeah, that was that was really close.
But yeah, stay tuned for Demon Souls. Exciting times.
Yes, we're gonna continue this with Demon Souls, any percentage, 60 FPS on the emulator category. We have 2 people learning the game. They are runners from other games. They have run Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls, and the remake of Demon Souls in the case of Ash, and they are both learning the category. Berto and I are teaching them how to do it, and we're missing just kind of like the last 30% of the run, which is World 2. And
My
then,
it seems like my credits are doing the same thing yours did. They're blinking in and out.
wait, when is it happening? Did you guys alt tab?
No, I
Did
have.
you guys alt
I
tab or
did not
something?
No,
alt
no.
tab.
I
I
was
was also
curious about this
inside.
earlier though. It happened also to you.
It didn't happen in the past, but I guess maybe like a graphics card update or Windows.
I
update
had
or
no
something
idea what
that's
happens.
messed with
Actually,
the
makes you
game.
really curious. Why it's only on the
Yeah.
credits? It's only on the second part too. It's not the beginning.
Yeah, and it's stopped now.
It seems to be somewhat consistent there, actually. Yeah, I don't know. What
Okay,
it's
you
about.
both out of here.
Okay, have fun with your demons. Oh, it's
Thanks for
doing it
the
again.
raid,
Oh
guys.
no. Anyway,
It'll
thanks.
leave before your computer explodes.
Yeah, thanks. Have fun with Demon Souls and stay tuned for that. It's gonna be fun.
So as I was saying, we're gonna finish teaching the guys a run. The point is that they're both eventually gonna race. We're gonna practice for a few weeks, and we're gonna have the race for the run. So now we're gonna do a bit of a pause. We're gonna do the setup, making sure everything's fine, and we're gonna continue with that. So stay tuned. Just wait a bit, and we're starting in like 5 to 10.